Hello everyone, Jose J. Garcia with Garcia Home University here. So this video is for you park owners, my partners, our partners. We're all partners, we're all a team, a giant networking team. We work together. I look out for y'all like I look out for every other investor, for my students, for my investments, for everything. We're all in this together. So this video is for you. I had a couple park owners reach out to me last week, and one of them wasn't complaining. Nothing to complain about. I mean, not gonna make things better. But he was not happy with the investors that he had allowed to come into the park. And we talked about it. He brought up the issues and got my suggestions as to how he should go about certain things, and so it was kind of back, in it, all in all, is the investors that he allowed to come into invest into his park. He kind of gave them all just do whatever you want kind of thing, as long as you pay me lot rent. And I think on one of my previous videos like this, I talked slightly on that. And where a lot of these park owners, they don't want to be landlords. They simply want to own the land, but they want nothing to do with the home in itself. They don't want to fix it. They don't want to rehab them. A lot of these are torn up, distressed. They're sitting there doing nothing. They can get investors to come in and do this for them in a sense. And again, work side by side, because that right away is where he went wrong. He kind of just allowed them and you do your thing, didn't check on anything, and then things didn't work out. Now he can't get a hold of, I mean, just okay. So here's how it should work out. Okay. Because I do business with a lot of park owners, and a lot of park owners call me for a lot of suggestions, a lot of concerns they have. And I help, like I said, any and everybody. So we're all a team. But I don't stop doing business with park owners after I do one investment in your park and I'm gone. You never hear from me again. I still do business and investments in mobile home parks that I did when I first started. That was years ago. And I stay in contact with them because, again, if you know the power of networking, that never stops. You keep building these relationships, and that's how they grow. But so don't, you have to build it. You have to build teams. You have to trust people, but you have to do certain things as a park owner before you allow just any and everybody to come into your park. Because here's the thing about any investor: everybody can do everything. Everybody knows everything that needs to be done, and they can do this and they can do that. And just like much like a job interview, everything checks out on paper. But can you really truly do so? And with let's talk about my students, for instance. My students that go through Garcia Mobile Home University, they are taught. And before I present certain ones to certain deals, one, have they finished their courses? Because I won't ever bring a student into a park that has not completed their coaching. Or even if they completed their coaching, I don't feel like this specific student and investor can handle that job. I may bring it up to his attention, but I will be clear to say, I don't think that, I think this project may be a little bit more for you. Maybe not something you need to tackle on right now. Let me get somebody else on this one. There's other ones, that sort of thing. So I'm looking out for as much as my students, my investors, as much as the park owners. I'm not just going to bring Joe off the street who thinks he can rehab a mobile home into your park. And as soon as I flip it, we're going to talk about that, then I'm out of the picture. Because the only thing that that creates now is now you have some quotations investor who is in your park. And if you sold the home to him directly, for instance, now you don't have a title because you handed it to him. Now he's nowhere to be found. You're in a worse situation now than you were before you allowed that investor to come in. So let's backtrack. Okay, here is how it typically works out. Okay, and then we'll get into the specifics as to what you should look for, because this is almost like an interview. Anybody that's doing business in your park, you park owner are in charge. This is your park. This is your investment. You're in control, not the investor. Okay, and it's coming from an investor. So, okay, this is real stuff. um, all right. When you have distressed mobile homes, here's how I operate. Okay. Park owners call me. Hey, I've seen your signs. I see your ads. I see what you do. I've kind of listened to you on YouTube a little bit. I kind of like it, but tell me more. First step given. Okay. Let's skip a couple. I, as a park owner, have 40 mobile homes that are distressed. They're beat up. I'm going to tell you now, they have not been lived in 3 years. I don't think you can rehab them, but I figured I'd ask anyway. Those typically are ones we can rehab. I know they've been sitting for a long time, and no, problems don't get better with time. But our students, like myself, when I take some of these mobile homes, some of these are what a lot of people consider, let's go ahead and demo them. And I tell them, no, give us a chance to look them up. And we do. We bring them back up to livable, presentable. It takes an investment. It takes money. It takes time, labor, material, etc. But we bring these units back up. And in a sense, it makes you money because now you get to collect lot rent on something that was going to cost you money to demo it, or just sit and watch it look ugly, really, because it's an eyesore for the park when a mobile home is just sitting. Unless it looks like the one behind me, then it better not be just sitting. But but you allow this. You have these 40 units, and usually the way it works is, with the investors, okay, well, how many can you take, for instance? And don't ever trust any investor unless that investor has credentials to prove that they've done parks with masses of amounts of inventory. I would not trust any investor with more than maybe, really should start with one. This is not a marriage. Let's do one. Let's see how it works out. If it checks out, then okay, we'll do another one, and then we'll go on. We build that relationship. But at tops, I would say for control reasons, don't lose control over your park. I would say don't allow any investor to get more than about 3 homes per investor. They got a team, they got different, it doesn't matter. 3 units, let's see how it works out, and if it checks out, all works out, we'll keep moving forward, and that's fine. Now, if you have an investor that they're coming to do, because you got to hear their pitch. That's the thing, their pitch, and that's what the park owner was aggravated, is that, well, they had a good pitch. Well, people do. People can make a good pitch. Doesn't mean they can do a good job. There's a difference there. And if the investor's exit strategy here is more so to come in and immediately start flipping these homes, well, one, he or she needs to be transparent with you. If that's what they're going to do, then they're playing broker, and that's fine if that's what you want. But I would suggest that at this point, you're probably better off doing that yourself then, because at least you know who's coming in. You have full control of it. But have control over that. If that's what they're doing, they're playing broker, stay on top of that. I want to know every investor that you're going to bring in here, because technically I'm putting you in control of this for you to bring your people, your investors, your buyers, and what are their qualifications. You see, if an investor comes in here like that and all they're thinking is wholesale, they don't really care. They care about the money. They care about the profit that's going to come with it. And they're not looking after you. It is definitely not what I call a win-win-win situation. When I create these, I want to make sure that the park owner wins. I want to make sure that I win. And I want to make sure that the investor wins. And it all checks out. And I'm in the picture to make sure things are checking out. I don't hand the paperwork over and, see y'all later. I got my money. Doesn't work that way. When that happens, all you are stuck with now a resident, because for that time being, that investor is a resident that can give you headaches, problems, and if they know how to play the cards right, you can have a headache in your hands that you do not want. So, that being said, here are the things that I would ask as a park owner. Okay, if I had a park that I want to invest with investors, I want to interview them, Mr. or Mrs. Investor. Okay, show me your credentials, show me your references. Yes, you will call these references. You will email them. You will do what you need to do. But I want to make sure that what they're telling me is legit. It's like a job interview. Okay. You're not going to lie to me. And if you do lie, then, I would suggest, like anything else, that needs to end immediately. If you can't trust them from the get go, no good business starts wrong and ends well. Okay. If it starts wrong, it's probably going to continue to do so and get worse. That's the way it usually works. I would ask for references. I want to call them. Did you do this alone? Did you invest in other parks with other partners, maybe with other investors where there are some wholesalers in the mix? Do you teach people how to do this? What's your backstory? What's your background on that? When I teach people, I've invested in rehab by myself, mobile homes. I have played every hat that you can think of at one point. I have walked inside of into a mobile home where I had no handyman and thought, they're fired. I don't need them. They're not going to work. I don't need them in my spot. And I got in and got dirty, and I rehabbed these homes myself. It taught me a lot. It taught me step by step, which I am grateful now today, looking back. At the time, I'm sure I was pretty aggravated, but I got the job done, and it taught me a lot, because now when I do hire contractors, when I teach people, I am teaching them things that I know. A teacher can teach you anything all day long off a book. That doesn't get you ahead, okay? Or they would be further ahead. A real coach is somebody who has actually done the job multiple times, succeeded, has references, and can back it up. And that's what you need in your park. Do not lose control over your park. But if you do, call me. There's ways I can help you. Sometimes it has to include course legality. If you have to go after titles, maybe bonded titles, we have to get something back. I can help you. We can definitely try to clean that up. And, I got plenty of students, investors. So if you're looking for a qualified investor, reach out to me. I got plenty of them. Every day I'm coaching new ones and they're finishing up. And I'll assure you, right now I'm covering the whole Southeast, but I am growing in anywhere in the area. If nothing more, I have connections that I can connect with somebody that I can say, this would be a good investor for your area. Topic, main purpose for this call is be careful as a park owner. There's a lot of people out there that are saying, I can do this, I can do that, but can they really? Let's make sure and verify. That's all you need to do. I hope this video helps. As far as my park owner that's aggravated, we got another call tomorrow. I'm helping him out. The other one, not so aggravated because he more so called me before he allowed certain investors in, and we were able to stop that. Nothing against the investor, but if you're not going to be true and transparent from the get-go, it's not going to be a business. So that does it for this video. Y'all know how to reach me, J@GarciaMHE.com. All right, till next time. Thank you for watching.